The Washington Redskins are under pressure to change the team name. Will wokeness rule the day? The new jobs report shows the Trump economy is booming back to life. Plus, the NFL plans to play not one, but two national anthems. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
And God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. Happy Friday. I hope you've had a great week. If you're new to the show, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to start with the Washington Redskins because we have to wonder, will the Washington Redskins cease to be? This is a team name that has existed since the 1930s, and now it is under pressure once again, and this time from one of its main corporate sponsors, FedEx. Here's the story. FedEx said Thursday it has asked the Washington Redskins to change their name. The company sponsors the team stadium in Landover, Maryland, and its CEO, Fred Smith, is part of the Redskins ownership committee. We have communicated to the team in Washington our request that they change the team name, the company wrote in a statement. So that's FedEx, putting pressure on the Redskins, and we don't just see it from corporate America as far as these sponsors, we see it from sports itself. These other entities like ESPN, NBC Sports, they're corporations too, and all of them have been infiltrated by the left, taken over by this woke agenda. We saw it with the Mike Gundy story. I reported on, he went fishing, wore a One America News shirt. That became a story. That became a story where ESPN reporters were going after him, one saying he should be fired for doing it. This is what you get. Here, with this instance, same thing. NBC Sports commentator, radio host Mike Florio, he said this about the Redskins.
Will the name change now? Will it change later? And what will be the legacy of the people who participated and enabled the ongoing existence of this name beyond this moment? Forget about the last 7 years. This is the moment where the change needs to happen. This is the reckoning and awakening on all matters of race. This is the time for it to happen.
So see, once again, the Black Lives Matter movement, this wokeness mob, has infiltrated everything. You will not hear a sportscaster run counter to the Black Lives Matter movement. You just won't hear it. That kind of speech is not allowed. The left is supposed to be all about diversity and inclusion. That goes okay unless it's diversity of opinion or thought or speech. And inclusion, as long as you believe in the left-wing agenda, then you're included. Otherwise, don't apply for a job at ESPN and apparently not at NBC Sports either. But that was FedEx. That was Mike Florio too. There's more. There's more pressure coming down, not just on FedEx, but other sponsors of the team. An investment group worth billions of dollars has sent a letter targeting sponsors like Nike, Pepsi, FedEx, saying disassociate with the Redskins. And here's more of that story. A group of investment firms are calling on three major Washington Redskins sponsors to end their business relationships with the Redskins unless the team changes its name. Adweek reported that Nike, PepsiCo, FedEx received letters signed by 87 investment firms and shareholders calling for them to disassociate from the Redskins due to their name. It's the latest pressure the team has faced in recent weeks amid a social justice movement that has happened in the aftermath of George Floyd's death. The investment firms are worth a collective $620 billion, according to Adweek. So, this group of firms gets together, puts the pressure on Nike, Pepsi, FedEx with this letter saying, don't mess with the Redskins. Get them to change their name because they are using a racist, dehumanizing mascot. And here's more of the story. In the letter to Nike, the firms urge the apparel company to meet the magnitude of this moment and sever ties with the Redskins. The NFL's Washington, D.C. team still uses a racist name as its mascot, the letter reads. Redskins remains a dehumanizing word characterizing people by skin color and a racial slur with hateful connotations. Virtually every major national American Indian organization has denounced use of Indian and Native-related images, names, and symbols disparaging or offending American Indian peoples, with over 2,000 academic institutions eliminating Indian sports references. And here's the thing. Dan Snyder, the big boss, the big owner of the team, has said he would never change his name. How strong do you think that commitment is when dollars are on the line? Will he change it? What should he do, folks? I want to know what you think. Should the Redskins change their name? Let me know in the comments. So next, we're going to move on to the jobs report. I just have to talk about that. But first, if you're new to the show, if you love the show and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And when you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified. We're making our push for 100,000 members, 100,000 subscriptions by Election Day. 100K by Election Day, and we can do it with your help. So next, I want to talk about the jobs report because it was absolutely awesome. And it shows that the Trump economy that was roaring, that was just going, is booming back to life. And I need to talk about it because you won't hear it from the major news organizations. Last night, 2 hours of primetime, Chris Cuomo, 2 major stories, CNN didn't cover it at all. You've got this Ghislaine Maxwell, who is Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand person with their sex trafficking scandal. She's making big news. She's got everyone scared on what she's going to say. And then this jobs report. CNN didn't cover it at all, and it was big news, folks. We added in June 4.8 million jobs back to the economy. May's numbers were revised up to 2.7, so that's 7.5 million jobs over the last 2 months added back to the economy. That beat expectations. Unemployment fell from 13.3% to 11.1%. That beat expectations. It's major news. It shows what President Trump has said all along. The economy was in great shape. We shut it down. Now it's coming back to life. And here's what he said yesterday.
In June, we added 2.1 million leisure and hospitality jobs, 740,000 retail jobs, 568,000 education and healthcare jobs, 357,000 service jobs. These are all historic numbers. And 356,000 manufacturing jobs. And manufacturing looks like it's ready to really take off at a level that it's never been.
So the president went on to talk about how great this rebound is, this economy is for Black Americans. The media want you to forget that when this economy was rolling along, Black and Hispanic unemployment were at historic lows. They want you to forget about all that. The only images they want you to see are rioting and looting and statues being torn down. But the economy was booming. It was lifting up everybody, especially in those middle wage jobs, those jobs that Blacks and Hispanics and everybody were getting. Unemployment was low. It's coming back. Here's more from the president.
African-American workers, really happily for me, made historic gains with 404,000 jobs added last month alone, and that's a record. And the second largest jump will be last month. And what we have, if you add the 2 months together, it's 700,000 jobs for African-American workers.
And here's the thing, folks, with months of the economy basically closed down, the hope was that it closed down so fast, it's going to rebound quickly. But what is actually happening is the economy is coming back, and the Congressional Budget Office expects the rest of this year to just be unprecedented as far as GDP growth. And here's that story. The Congressional Budget Office is predicting the economy will come roaring out of the coronavirus recession with a growth surging to 12.4% the rest of this year before settling back into a longer-term trend of about half that. Unemployment will peak at more than 14%, but fall quickly as the economy rebounds later this year and into next year, the CBO said in its update on Thursday. 12.4%, folks. That's the expected GDP growth for the rest of this year. It's absolutely unreal. This is what we're looking at. If we can open up, if we don't bend to the media fear of coronavirus that they're trying to do now and shut everything back down, this is the growth we can expect. People going back to work, getting on with their lives, and the media is just, they don't know what to think. Here's Rachel Maddow over at MSNBC talking about her prediction for this jobs report.
We're actually going to get the jobless numbers, the unemployment numbers for the month of June a day earlier than we would otherwise expect them. So we would usually get those on a Friday. They're going to come out tomorrow. That'll tell us unemployment figures for June. Brace yourself. It's going to be absolutely terrible.
Wow. So I guess that's why she gets paid the big bucks over at MSNBC for predictions, for analysis like that. Talk about wrong. It's just bizarre. So now, folks, we're going to go to the NFL. We talked about the Washington Redskins in particular. Now we're going to talk about the NFL in general because they have totally caved in to Black Lives Matter, to the woke mob. They are giving in a big way. Remember the national anthem kneeling? Everyone bailed away from the NFL. Ratings were down. Roger Goodell said, oh my gosh, we can't have this. We need to be standing for the national anthem. Not because it's the right thing to do, but because they want their ratings back. They want their revenue back. Now, they're all on board. They're accepting this. They're embracing it. People are going to be kneeling like crazy with this NFL season. I will not be watching. I am done with the NFL. Roger Goodell could say whatever he wants. They can embrace this national anthem kneeling. It's all based on false stats, a false narrative, and they're all embracing it. It's unreal. But that's not it. That's not all. It's not just national anthem kneeling. Now, across the country, week 1 games will have not one, but 2 national anthems. They will have the black national anthem and then apparently the regular national anthem, the one for the rest of us. And here's the story from Fox News. The NFL will reportedly play Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is known as the Black National Anthem, before every Week 1 game in the NFL 2020 season, according to ESPN. The decision to play the song comes following the death of Minneapolis man George Floyd, which led to nationwide protests and riots and looting and vandalism over racial inequality and police brutality. According to the ESPN report, the song will be played before the Star Spangled Banner. This has gotten crazy, folks. This is what I said. There is a reason that announcers before these sporting events say, ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand and remove your hats for the national anthem? It is a sign of respect. So to kneel, to do otherwise, is a sign of disrespect. Plus, it is a time to come together as Americans. We all have different opinions. We all debate. We all believe different things. But this allows us to remember, to recall, join together that we are all Americans. We are all here. And this effort only divides America further. It just puts another wedge between people rather than bringing us together. What happened to the great American melting pot? Now we have 2 national anthems? Here's more of the report. Many players have been vocal about their stances on this topic. Washington Redskins running back Adrian Peterson, Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray, Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield already have said that they will kneel for the national anthem. The league and the NFL Players Association are also contemplating listing the names of victims on uniforms through decals on helmets or patches on jerseys, ESPN reported. The NFL may also produce educational programs about victims. They also have other plans that haven't been identified. Listing victims? What victims? Are they going to list the police officers, the black police officers that were killed because of this rioting and looting? Are they going to list the black children that have died in Chicago, died in Baltimore, died in Detroit every single week? Every single weekend, I've pointed out in Chicago, there's dozens of people shot and killed. Dozens. Are they going to be listed on these jerseys? You're going to run out of space on the helmets. It's so outrageous. They buy into this movement of Black Lives Matter when Black Lives Matter movement does not care about black lives. Yet the NFL is going into this, and now we're going to have 2 national anthems. It's absolutely outrageous. And it leads us, folks, to Friday, of course. And with all this stuff going on, you have to ask these left-wing people, do you have a relaxed brain?
I got what you call, a relaxed brain.
All right, so first of all, going off that story, Black Lives Matter. What about all lives? Do all lives matter? That is a question. They've had merchandise, they have shirts that say that. Well, guess what? Walmart has decided they're not going to sell that stuff anymore. Here's a report. Walmart will stop selling merchandise emblazoned with the All Lives Matter slogan because some people are using the phrase to downplay the painful reality of racial inequality that black people face, representatives for the mega retailer said. We fundamentally believe all lives do matter and every individual deserves respect, Walmart told USA Today in a statement. However, as we listened, we came to understand that the way some, but not all people, are using the phrase all lives matter in the current environment intentionally minimize the focus on the painful reality of racial equality. So basically what they're saying is they bow down to social media where Black Lives Matter and the woke mob get very vocal and they bend to that rather than common sense and promoting a slogan that truly does bring everyone together. So next, about Chaz. It's being shut down. But as we see, there's some crime stats now that are coming out. And guess what? It wasn't the communist utopia that it was portrayed. The media said we're going to have teach-ins, that it's communal growing of food, everyone getting together in peace, no cops. Here's the result. Seattle saw a staggering 525% spike in crime as a result of the violence that swept through the Capitol Hill occupied protest zone, according to Mayor Jenny Durkin. Durkin's emergency order booting protesters from the 6-block cop-free zone makes mention of the narcotics use and violent crime, including rape, robbery, assault, and increased gang activity within the CHOP since it first emerged in early June. So, it was supposed to be peace and love. People are getting shot. People are getting assaulted. 2 died from gunshots. Black youth died in CHOP or Chaz, and it was supposed to be peaceful. Yet the media doesn't report this. So finally, to play off of what I talked about earlier this week, Mitt Romney's team, his former associates, jumping ship to support Joe Biden, a Democrat. Guess who else is doing it? Members of George W. Bush's team, his administration, are forming a group to support Joe Biden. And here's that report. Hundreds of former officials who served under President George W. Bush are gearing up to endorse presumptive Democrat nominee Joe Biden. The group of officials, which include members of Mr. Bush's cabinet and other senior officials, has reportedly formed a political action committee dubbed 43 Alumni for Biden. Mr. Bush was the 43rd president. This November, we're choosing country over party, said Christoph Purcell, former communications official in the Bush administration. We believe that a Biden administration will adhere to the rule of law and restore dignity and integrity to the White House. Give me a break, folks. They are supporting Joe Biden. They are supporting a Democrat. Regardless of if you like President Trump or not, look at the agenda that is at stake. Look at the conservative positions that will not be advanced. Tax cuts, those are going to be gone. Regulations, going up. You think Biden is going to appoint one conservative judge? It's absolutely outrageous. The things that the Trump administration has done, these people want to fight against. Trade, I mean, you just name it. You go down border security. I could keep going on and on. They are so anti-Trump, they're willing to put all of that at risk to support Joe Biden, who, as we've seen, can't even put a coherent sentence together. He's losing it. He will just be a pawn, a puppet of the radical left. That's what these guys are supporting. So, folks, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and when you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified, and we'll see you next time. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is the 13-Minute News Hour. Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-Minute News Hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.